Welcome to Two Oceans, Day 22. Toto, it's getting cloudy. It's Friday, August 2nd, 2019. But first, the road so far. Now leaving Cedar Bluff State Park, Arapahoe Campground, Kansas. The park had all these different sections in it named after Indian tribes. And that is me at the bike getting ready to go after I got my change, I mean. So I left a deposit the day before. They were not open. And now, I don't remember why, but it took me a while to figure out which way I was going when I left the campground. So I turn around there once, I turn around again, and then I go back through the park. Maybe I wanted to go this way. And then I turn around and go back through the park, up to the office again, at least where it was. 147 North after much confusion. I traveled 316 miles yesterday. I hope you don't mind me reading that stuff. You know why I put that stuff there? It's to remind me to say it, is what it is. Because I'm not going to, read notes and watch the screen at the same time. So, excuse me if I seem like I'm reading for you. I think I'm heading north again, for the I-70. Which is way up this time. Because it was quite a drive south to get to that campground, but it's the only place I found. There we are, I-70 East. Like the title says, it's a cloudy day. It is a cloudy day. The sun does come through a couple times. Ellis, Kansas. Okay, here we go. Advance token to Hays, Kansas. What happened here was I left that first place in Ellis and forgot to turn the camera on. So I didn't put it on again until I was leaving Hays. So here we are leaving Hays. I think it was about 40 or 50 miles down the road. I don't remember. Not the first time I forgot to turn the camera on or lost a section of a trip in this Two Oceans journey.
The King's Men and Blues in the Night.
My mammy done told me when I was in knee pants. My mammy done told me, son, a woman will sweet talk and give you the big eye. But when that sweet talk is done, a woman's a two-faced, a worrisome thing will leave you to sing the blues in the night. train a calling, hooey, hooey, hooey. Hear the lonesome whistle blowing across the trestle, hooey, hooey, hooey. A hooey, the hooey. Oh, clickety-clack is echoing back the blues in the night. Evening breeze will cry.
K4 East. I'm assuming that means Kansas Route 4 East. As we are in Kansas. And also the camera is tipped a bit to the left. Actually it's tipped to the right, so the image goes to the left. And I could have adjusted that in the computer, but it would have taken so long, and it's such a slight slope that I wasn't going to worry about it. I just decided, nah, it's all right.
In the night. La, 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 la. From Memphis to Mobile, from Memphis to St. Joe, wherever the four winds may blow.
And I made a stop here, I believe, to put my coat in the trunk, which is in the front of a Spyder. And I put my gloves on the back of the bike, on my flatbed equipment carrier. And I forgot to take them off of there and put them back on. And I realized up ahead I didn't have my gloves on. And I noticed they had blown off the top of my bike. So I turn around, hoping to find them. And I did. But don't do this at home. I do see them though. I know I slow this up so you can see them coming. And they look like black dots up here. There we are. Ta-da! 2 gloves found. It almost didn't matter though, because not far up I went to a Walmart and one of my gloves fell off. I used to hook the hook and loop stuff to the Velcro. I used to hook through a belt loop and hook the 2 gloves together. And one of them broke loose while I was walking through the store. And I did not feel like going back in and looking all over the store just for my gloves. So I just, next big gas station, they always sell driving gloves and riding gloves for the truckers, so I bought a set of them then.
I've been to some big town, yes, sir, and heard me some big talk. He said, but there is one thing I know. A woman, a two-face, a worrisome thing will leave you to sing the blues in the night. My mammy done called me so. And brother, I tell you, so help me, I got the blues in the night.
Bug aside, if you look in the lower corner, a bug died. And I didn't notice it the rest of the day, so that blur is there the rest of the day. Claflin, Kansas. So some bug is going to have to tell his kids that Uncle Buzz won't be coming over for dinner this weekend. He threw himself in front of a motorcycle.
gray. Won't you push the clouds away? I can't endure the temperature. Weatherman, I depend on you. In my heart there's a chill where there used to be a thrill. I need my gal, you weatherman. The winds are blowing, I can't shiver. My thoughts are rowing down to the river. The night is stormy, do something for me. You know my share of the weather is long overdue. Weatherman, see what you can do.
This is actually one of the shortest films of a day I've had in a while. Usually they're at least a half hour, but this here we're back to just under 20 minutes. I'm surprised. But that's all the film I had for this one. And they didn't make any stops that I really wanted to explore either. By exploring, I mean looking on Google after the fact and finding things out about it. I just didn't, there wasn't anything that hit me this time.
Take the time, make a time, find my gal and make her mine. Or change your plan, you know you can, you weatherman.
Lindsborg, Kansas. There's a piece of an old brick road left there. And at the next gas station, I believe, yeah, here it is. This guy right here. Old gentleman, had to be in his 90s. He told me his whole life story. Of course, I cut it out so I could move along with the video. But I remember there was love lost and found, and untimely death, and a war in there somewhere, and it was quite a story. He seemed that he needed to tell it to me. So he was in there with some friends having coffee, and by the time I was done and ready to leave, he was leaving, and he stopped and he shared his life with me. I found it interesting and somewhat touching, that moment. I remember him for that. I-135 North. I think at this point I had already found a place to stay, and this was part of the route to get to it. Selena. Yeah, I think that was a food stop. I didn't pull into the pumps. And a brief jump back onto the I-70 East, which must have crept north. There's Selena KOA Holiday. Every road in this camp was named after something in The Wizard of Oz. And here is the yellow brick road, which had no yellow bricks at all on it. The guys you just saw over there were bikers here for a rally. And we were talking about where that spot in the campground, because it was low and it looked like it would mud up anytime it rained, and it's probably, they figured, well, that's where the tents go. You know, those low class people get the tents, they get the pit, you know. And this building here is the orange building you saw, and right there is where, in those trees, is somewhere in there is where I stayed. And over here you can see where I pulled in and made a left to get into the campground. That's where I parked at the office, and right here I believe is the sign, the yellow brick road sign. And that's a photo I took of it later. And right around the, circled around the office and went into the place where I stayed for the night. And this is what it looks like. All those routes in there were named after something in the Wizard of Oz. So, okay, that's about it for this one, folks. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please hit that subscribe button so that you can see more outrageously fascinating journeys with me. Thank you for watching.